Hey sweet friends, welcome to a eye opening project with me. So we literally are going to make an eye. It's going to be really cool. So you got to watch it to the end. It's a process, okay? You got to watch me all the way to the end to learn how to do this, but it's going to be a little bit three-dimensional, so it's going to pop just a little bit. Gather supplies from around the house. You could use cardstock for this project, construction paper. You can even use copy paper for this project. If you had skin color paper, that would make your life so much easier, but I don't. I just have white paper today, so I am gonna have to make a skin color myself. Pencil, if you have oil pastels, great. Crayons, markers, whatever you have to color with to add color to our paper will be perfect. And then if you want a permanent marker or even just a good old Crayola marker, that works too. So first thing I'm gonna do, and scissors and glue, guys, or tape. Tape, glue, scissors. You need those. Okay, so are you ready? Go get your stuff. Come back and join me. And remember, you can hit play at any time. Pause at any time and then play me back at any time. Rewind me, whatever you got to do. First thing I'm going to do, though, is I need to get rid of a little bit of my background paper, okay? So I am going to fold this paper over, make it even at the top, run my fingers down, or if you had a ruler, you could kind of use your ruler to make a straight line, or like a book, something like that to make a straight line to get rid of about an inch of your paper. Please, please, please work with your kids on how to hold scissors correctly. A lot of kids come to me and they have no clue, okay? So thumb goes in the circle, fingers go in the oval, fit as many fingers as you can in, thumb is always on top, and we do little chomps. And we make sure to hold our paper with our other hand much further away from the scissors. There we go. Okay, now you could use this for something else, bookmark, whatever. Now, I've got some tape. You don't need that, but I've got some tape so that I can stick this on to my surface that I'm holding this up with. Now, we've got our other paper, and we kind of need to know where the middle is. You don't do like a really major crease, but I am folding it. Some teachers call this a hot dog fold because it's long like a hot dog bun, right? So corner to corner, gentle, 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 and that is just so we know where the middle is. And in fact, I'm going to flip it over so it's pushed out towards me, okay? And on here, I am going to draw a pretty big eyeball. All right, and we know eyeballs are the shape of a like a lemon or a football, right? So I am going to draw, and you could do it up higher, you can do it down lower, you can do it smack in the middle, wherever you want to do it, okay? So I'm going to draw a frowny face, and I think I need to come over this way just a little bit more. And I'm trying to make these the same, which is pretty tricky. There we go. Okay, so now oh my goodness, you can't even see that. I am so sorry. Duh, I knew you couldn't see that. I can't use pencil. I have to do permanent marker. You guys are using pencil though. So, frowny face, major frowny face. I tried to make it in the center of my paper. I am a little too far that way, but that's okay. And then a smiley face to connect, okay? Then we are going to do the eyeball, right? No, we are not going to do the eyeball. That is all we're going to do. We're not doing the eyeball in here. We're just doing the football shape. Now, if you wanted to, right inside our eye, where our eye opens, we have a crease right in here, right? So we have our lower lid and we have our upper lid. So use your pencil to make another curve line to kind of represent, oh, that's hard for you to see, represent that curve line above the eyeball, right? And then of course we have some eyelashes. So you can make these as big as you want. You can keep them really skinny. You can make them really long. You can make them curly. You can have fun, fun, fun with these eyelashes, okay? A lot of times boys will not want to draw eyelashes, so don't make them, but we all have eyelashes. They protect stuff from falling down into our eyes, so we need eyelashes, right? Okay, there we go. Now, we're going to pause the drawing just for a moment, okay, and we are going to cut. Now, the easiest way to cut the football shape out and get rid of it is to fold our paper in half, do a little snip, just like that, and then put our scissors in our snip we made, and I am cutting right inside my Sharpie line, or you guys are cutting right on top of your pencil line. There we go. So this is just a really fun, silly project to do for something different, okay? Sometimes it's fun to do art that is a little different, right? We can get creative with it. It's a little surreal, right? Showing a little surrealism. So now, I have a hole, right? So what we can do now is we can use this, and what I want to do is, well, actually, you know what we should probably do? Here's what we should do. I'm going to go ahead and decorate my first page, okay? So I'm going to just go ahead and color in my eyelashes. You guys can turn on your music and kind of jam out, and let's decorate this face. Us girls could totally put eyeshadow on our eyeball if we wanted to, right? Okay. And so we'll get each of these colored in. Take your time. Always push your kiddos to take their time. The second they start rushing, they make oopsies, and then they get really, really frustrated with themselves and with the project. So if we want to prevent frustration, we just encourage our friends to take their time. Now I'm using a Crayola marker. I could have just continued using my Sharpie. I could use crayons. I could use colored pencils. Just use what you have. Don't feel like you have to buy special supplies for this project. There we go. There we go. Now I always love to have fun with my eyeshadow. You don't have to, just if you wanna. So I might use, just for fun, I might use some oil pastels to kind of work on. So I always put white eyeshadow closest to my eyes so that it pops against my brown eyes and shows some contrast. So I'm going to put white in there. And then sometimes I like to wear like a teal. Ooh, and I wear purple eyeshadow a lot too. But, so I could do some blue. I could mix some green in there so that they'll blend and make a teal. There we go. And then I can do white on top so that they blend. When I put white pastel on top of the blue and the green, it blends together and makes a turquoise. Now, the oil pastel is covering up my marker line, so I will have to fix that in a minute. But that's kind of fun. Kind of fun. I could even carry just a little little bit up under the eyes, right? Just like that. Get that all colored. There we go. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I don't have a very good skin color for my, to match my face, okay? Now, so I'm going to use a crayon. So this is going to be definitely a multimedia piece. Now, as I color, I am coloring, kind of following that curved line. So I'm just following the curve of the eye all the way around. Okay, and then we'll follow the curve around on this side. Oop. Just like that. And I just keep working that coloring all the way around. Now, if any of you are new to Artsy Rose, we have been around for 5.5 years now. And I personally kind of thought of this idea a long time ago, actually, when I was in college. And of course I didn't make this up. You know, a lot of people have art studios and have online art classes and things like that. So I didn't make this up myself, but I did get my own version, started up about 5.5 years ago. And it's named after me, and I am named after my grandma, and my grandma is named after my great-grandma. So Rose is our middle name, and it was my great-grandma's first name. So there is my coloring. Now, obviously, you want your coloring to look a little smoother than that. So you really want to kind of go back, fill in any of those white spots. Sometimes that's the downfall to using crayon, is you still can see quite a bit of white from the paper showing up underneath. Okay, so let's get that all colored in, just like this, and just kind of keep working that so that there's no white spots. Now, like I said earlier, I sort of kind of covered up my eyelashes a little bit, so if I use a black pastel, I can clean that up and retrace, just not all of them, but just where I accidentally, well, I did on purpose down below, didn't I? I just colored right over it on purpose, because that's kind of hard to color in between all of those. But see, I get it all touched up just like that. Then, okay, so now I'm going to use this paper, and what I'm going to do is, and this is really important, is I am going to line this up with the top of my paper and the bottom of my paper. It is not going to line up on the right and the left, because remember, my bottom paper is smaller, but I do want to try to center it. Now, I don't want my top paper to move, so you may want somebody to hold it down for you, or you could tape it down so it doesn't move. And I am going to trace using a pencil right inside that eye hole that we made, an eye hole that we made earlier. And then I'll trace it so you can actually see. Now, everywhere that you draw pencil lines, if you want to go back and trace with Sharpie, like what I do, then feel free. I mean, when I draw with pencil, I always, well, I shouldn't say always, but Most of the time, I go back and trace with permanent marker because I just love the way it looks. There. Okay. There we go. Now we get to do the eye part, the fun part. My necklace keeps coming apart on me, guys. I need to tighten that up right there. Okay. So we are going to draw the actual eye. So I know the eyeball is a circle that, well, excuse me, the iris is a circle, right? So I just do a curved line like a C, curved line like a backward C. Then inside the eye, I'm going to do the pupil. The pupil is the part that we see out of. And then I like to do a little shine on the outside and a shine on the inside. You guys can see shines in my eyes because of the lights that are shining. So we have shines on the inside and the outside. Then you get to decide, what are you going to color your eye with? Are you going to use crayons? Are you going to use colored pencils? Are you going to use oil pastels? I would almost encourage you to use something that you can blend, okay? So, for example, I know that I can blend with pastels. My daughter has pretty cool eyes. She has hazel eyes. So I am going to do some brown like this, and I'm using a decent amount of pressure, but not all of my pressure. You could even do this with crayons and colored pencils. Those will blend too. And then I'm going to do some green, and my green is overlapping my brown, so that means it's going on top of my brown just a little bit. Just like that, okay? And I think I'm even going to throw in a little bit of lime green right here on the edge, like this, and then I'm going to go back with the dark green. Or actually, I really like this lime green. Now, how realistic is this bright green? I don't know, but I really like it. So zigzag, 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 kind of follow the curved outline, and then zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. There we go, just like that. And then I can put more green on top, lots of layering. So more green on top. Ta-da, ta-da-da-da. And I might even do a little bit more brown, just to cover up my white spots and really make that kind of pop. And then I'm going to do some white over all of it. And what that does is it blends. It kind of streaks it all together. It pulls some brown to the other side. It blends the dark green and the light green. And it just gives it a cool effect, I think. You don't have to do that. It's just if you want to. And then right in here, the pupil is black, so get that all filled in, just like that. And there we go. Just to make it all pop, I'm going to go ahead and trace the outside again, but with the black oil pastel that time, so that it really cleans up the edge. How cool is that eye, right? Okay. Now, if you wanted to be technical, I guess you could use a red and draw like a few little kind of veins in there. Oh, you can't see that. Draw like some little veins kind of on the sides of the eyes, right? Because you know, when we get tired, us moms get tired, those little veins kind of start sticking out even more. Okay, something like that. Pretty cool. Okay. Yes. There we go. And that, my friends, is really cool. Now, just in case, if you wanted to, oh man, I am wearing this crayon out. You could, let me peel this off a little bit, add, come on. Okay. You could add some skin color on this page too. Do not worry about coloring the whole page. Ooh, accidentally got into my oil pastel. Be careful. Don't do that or you'll smudge like I just did. Don't worry about coloring the whole page, but you totally could. There we go. Okay. So I'm not going to do the whole thing. I just did part of it around, and you'll see why here in just a minute. So just a little bit. Now, this is where I kind of go back and forth. Oh, here it is. I kind of go back and forth on what you want to use. You may want to use liquid glue because it really dries better, or you could use tape. Tape would work just fine for what we're about to do, but it's really up to you. It's what you have. I'm going to try a glue stick, but sometimes the glue stick does not work good enough for this project, but I'm just putting a pretty thick line of glue right inside there. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, always make sure, click your lids, is I'm going to line up the left side of my top paper in the top left corner. Line these up just like this. Really push that down good. Make sure it's pretty stuck. Then I am going to push this up in the center like that. And I'm going to line up the top right corner with the top right side of my paper, and I'm going to line up this whole edge all the way down to the bottom right corner, just like that. And now, you can't tell, but I'm about to hold it up. Here, it is so cool. Okay. There we go. And if it won't stay for you, maybe use liquid glue. Hot glue would work incredibly, or you could even put tape on the side to keep it together, but then that kind of takes away from the coolness, the final effect of it. So here, isn't that cool? Right? A massive eye. You could write like, I'm watching you right here and stick it in your kid's room. That would be hilarious. Okay, so have fun with this. Super cool, super awesome eyeball. See how it's raised up? So I lined it up on this edge. Both papers are lined up. Both papers are lined up on this edge. And now we have an awesome, very surreal eyeball. Very cool. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this project. I hope that it was fun, and that you make your own, okay? Make sure and leave pictures. I want to see them. Please subscribe and like and share and all that awesome social media stuff. It helps spread my passion with the world. And of course, I cannot wait to do some more art with you.